Welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video, we saw how to create a Databricks account. If you have not watched that video, you can go to the description box and click on the link to watch it. Once you have watched that video, you can come back to this video to learn more about Databricks. So in this video, we are going to learn how to create or how to use the Databricks workspace. So let's first try to understand what is a Databricks workspace. A workspace is an environment for accessing all our Databricks assets. Databricks assets means any computational resources like clusters that you create in order to run your notebooks or any data objects. So Workspace is basically a user interface in which you go ahead and create your objects, create your folders and files and organize them in the manner you want. It is similar to the File Explorer in which you create your folders and files and organize them. So let's try to understand now what is a notebook. A notebook is a web-based interface for creating data science and machine learning workflows that can contain runnable commands, visualizations, and narrative text. So it means notebook is nothing but a file in which you can go ahead and analyze your data science and machine learning workflows, or you can create and run your own commands. These commands that you can run can be on any language, which can be of Python, Scala, R, or SQL. So in one notebook, all these languages you can go ahead and write with a simple command, and all those commands is executable. And these commands are basically, let's say you are going ahead and printing a statement. You just put a print and your statement and hit enter, it will give you the output. So basically it is an interactive notebook that you can create with the interactive commands. And it also provide the output in a visualization format. Means if you have an output and you want to visualize it in any format, let's say line chart, bar graph, or histogram, you can go ahead and do that. Then it comes with narrative text. Means if you have any heading, then you can go ahead and put that heading in your cell. And if you want to put some description for the command that you have written, you can go ahead and put that inside that heading command. So it will be a narrative text. I'll show you, display you everything how it is in the coming sessions. So no need to worry about that. Let's go with the libraries. Libraries are actually a package of code which you can make it available to your notebook, or you can upload it to your cluster. So libraries can be of jar, which is written in the Java language, and you just package it and then you upload it to your cluster. And these libraries can be used across all your notebooks then comes with a dashboard. Dashboard is an interface that provides organized access to visualizations. It means if you have two graphs and you want to visualize at the same time, you can create a dashboard out of it and present it. So let's take an example. You have a COVID case study in which you have the output for the death rates and the hospitalization rates. So you have created two graphs out of it and you want to visualize in one particular format in one page, then you can create a dashboard out of it and visualize it very beautifully. So let's get into the Databricks website itself and go through all the features one by one practically. So now I am in the Databricks website of the free edition itself. So you will see the Databricks logo, the Databricks data science and engineering. So we will concentrate on data science and engineering and not on machine learning, but Databricks provide both of them. And we also have another feature, which is the SQL, which is not in the community edition, but if you have a paid subscription, then you will be able to find that. Then you have the create option. If you click on create, it will show you can create a notebook, a table, or a cluster. Then we have the workspace. As I discussed, there will be two accounts that will be provided in the workspace. One is the shared, another is the user. So if you go to the user, you will see your email address logged in and you can create your own notebooks there. So let's say I want to go ahead and I hit on this drop down button and I clicked on create, then notebook. So it will ask you what notebook you want to create. Give it a name. And let's say I want to change the language here. The default language is Python. You can either write it in Scala or SQL or R. Let me select SQL. Then it will ask you the cluster. So I've created a cluster called small cluster. I will show you how to create the cluster as well. So I've created the cluster and it's active now. So I click on create. Now you see the demo one notebook has been created in which you have this command one, which is in the SQL file, and there are some options. And if you go ahead and select something and click on run, it will go ahead and run the command. Or you can hit on this button to run the cell. Let's say you want to create a folder. So you can click on create and create your own folder. So I've created a folder called video. In this video, right now there's nothing. Let's say I want to go ahead and move this demo one in the video folder. So I just click on this drop down. There's a move option. So click on move. It will ask you where you want to move. Right now I want to move it to the video folder. I click on video and click select. So now you see in the video, there is a demo one file which has been moved inside the video folder. Now, if I go to the video, there are some other options. Let's say you want to clone it. You want to clone it as it is. You can do that. You want to rename it. You want to delete the file and folder. You can delete it. If you have any file which is in your local or in a URL, you can import it. So if I click on import, it will ask you to browse your file, or you can use a URL in order to import that file. You need to keep in mind that there are some accepted formats only which you can go ahead and upload. That is DBC, which is a format of Databricks. It could be a Scala, Python, SQL, R, Jupyter Notebook, RMD, HTML. And so these are the file formats that you can go ahead and use to import. And if you want to export the file, you can use the DBC archive, the source file, or HTML. So let's go to the other options. There are some recent. If you click on recent, you see the demo one file is there. If you want to search something, you can click on the search and search the entire workspace. Let's say if I want to search the demo one, it is coming up. Then you have data. If you have any tables, it will show you inside the data. Then is your compute, where you go ahead and actually create your cluster. So I've created this cluster called small cluster. I've used the Databricks runtime called 11.3. So what you have to do is you have to click on the create cluster. You have to give the name of the cluster. Then the runtime version, it is the 11.3. There are more versions that have come. Right now that I was shooting, this is the most stabilized version. So I've selected. You can use the version that is available at the time of you are practicing. And then you just hit on create cluster. Now it is not allowing me to create cluster because I have already created a cluster in my compute section. So if you hit on this create cluster, it will show you in the same manner that what is the runtime, what is the active memory, active core, what is the DBU per hour that you have selected, and how exactly you created this cluster, whether it is using the CLI or whether it is using the UI, and who is the creator. That's my email address that's been created. And if you want to go ahead and terminate it, you can terminate, or you can restart it, or delete or close. So these are some options that you can go ahead and use in order to create cluster or delete the cluster. And then we have the workflows. Basically, workflows is about how you can go ahead and schedule your jobs, right? So this is feature is not available in Community Edition, but you have to upgrade your Databricks subscription. So that's all I had for today's session to give you an introduction of the workspace. In the coming session, we will go through how exactly to run the commands and some more features about Databricks. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.